I didn't want to come in. It was so nice out there. I'm going to stay out there a little longer. Yeah, it's going to be dark soon, yeah. Got to get used to that.
You guys didn't get the result you wanted against the Rams last time, but the way the offense functioned, and especially the running game, how much did that kind of look like what you guys wanted?
We played well. We didn't play well enough to win the game. I thought the running game started out really good against them. We did some really good things with that regard. We hit some big plays, but ultimate goal is to win, and that's the main thing. We didn't do that, so we need to be better and be, again, another great challenge going against them.
How do you adjust to go up against guys like Aaron Donald and Dominican Sue in a defense like the one they have?
I don't know if you really adjust. You certainly plan for it. We look at them. We know what their strengths are. They're really good defense. Obviously, Adam Fowler was a good move for them. Another really good player. But you don't adjust. We try to do what we do, and we certainly respect them and know where they're going to be. But they're going to make their plays. Both those guys are really, really good players. It's a good defense all around, and a ton of respect for Wade Phillips.
What's Fowler bring to them different?
Great first step, really good edge rusher. He, I had played against him a few times in Indy when he was in Jacksonville. Just a really good pass rusher, good football player, all around good football player, and he made an impact last week against New Orleans. So it was a good addition for them.
How do you assess what Sunday's game and I guess Russell's play in particular?
I think there were a lot of missed opportunities. I think we did a lot of really good things. The opening drive touchdown was really good, very positive. That was good to see. We fought our way back, which was good to see. I think obviously the pick six was something that it was like, I wish that wouldn't have happened. It kind of put us behind the eight ball. But I told the group on Monday, they never checked up, meaning our guys. They didn't blink, and we fought back. We played hard. Third downs were a big part of the problem. Didn't convert enough third downs, and we put ourselves in too many third and longs. And that's from penalties. It's just from some penalties, things that we normally don't do, self-inflicted wounds. Again, there's going to be penalties. You're going to get called for holding every once in a while when you're going to make a reach block and a guy, starts to leave you and you pull him down. But the pre-snap things like that, those are things that we need to get rid of.
The interception, was that the Chargers breaking a tendency in coverage there, or was that?
No, he thought he could get it in there, saw the nickel kind of going out there, and he said, hey, I thought I could get it in there. But in reality, he should have seen that he was pushing up underneath it and come off of it.
How have you seen David Moore handle this week?
I see David really, really growing. We're on him right now about just being consistent throughout the whole course of the game, run game, everything. We're trying to move him around when we can. The deep ball stuff, the plays on the ball down the field are awesome, but now that he's shown that he can do that, it's okay. Now let's take the next step. Let's be a great run blocker, a dominant run blocker, big, powerful guy. Let's move you around a little bit, put you in different spots maybe that you haven't played in. So he's looking forward to the challenge, but again, he showed up each and every week, and he's always going to be a guy that we're going to look for when we get big play potential. A lot of times on some big plays, he doesn't always get the ball, but he creates the big play because of maybe something that he did behind the guy that got the ball.
With those penalties, is that a step back, or is that maybe not as much focus as you would like from the team?
Yeah, obviously we have to be better. And I told the guys it starts with me. We have to continue to emphasize it. I have to do a better job of explaining why penalties cost you games. This league is a lot of times it's teams lose games, they don't win games. So we've talked a lot about that this week. Veteran group like we have in some regards, and youth in other regards, it's some focus, and these guys play tremendously hard. They give us everything that they have, but they need to play smarter in terms of not shooting ourselves in the foot. They know that it starts with me. I got to do a better job of holding them accountable. We've talked about it a lot this week, and hopefully it shows up this weekend.
The last play to David, how difficult does that become once it's tipped? Kind of where it was and all of that.
It's a tough catch. It's a really tough catch. The ball, he's kind of tracking the ball. He sees it coming, then all of a sudden the ball takes kind of a strange turn. He was really dejected, very upset. Got a chance to talk to him after the game and said a lot of things still had to happen. That wasn't the reason that we won or lost that game, but it was a very difficult play.
Did you see from the sidelines it was tipped? Did you have to see that after?
I did not. I did not see that it was tipped till after. Somebody told me after that it was tipped. I just saw Russ kind of step up, try to figure out whether he was going to run or not. He made the right decision. And, again, I don't remember which guy got it, but I think the safety, 37, I think, is the one that just got a hand on. So it changed the trajectory of the ball. And when you're running that fast, full speed in the back of the end zone, the ball kind of makes an immediate turn. It's hard to track it. It got on pretty quick.
said you need to hold them accountable. What in particular do you think you haven't been doing in the penalty?
Well, again, if you go back to training camp, one of the things that we were doing was we were running for every false start penalty. We were running for those things. I think you get through the course of the season, you start practice gets shorter, you don't do as much of that. So we as a staff, myself, starts with me, need to do a better job making sure those guys are doing that. Sometimes it falls through the cracks. This week we're trying to do a better job of staying on top of those guys because it does. We're not really, no offense is made to play from 1st and 20, for 2nd and 15. Those are hard. Those are hard to overcome those situations, and then you end up in 3rd down. And again, I think 5 of our 3rd downs were 12 or more. And I told the guys this week, I said, 3rd and 19 or 20, I've called plays long enough in this league that I'm going to probably be a little bit conservative and play smart, play field position, things like that.
What's your perspective on Nick Vanette and what he's been able to contribute this season?
I know Nick has made a bunch of plays for us. I think he had one of the first touchdowns of the year of me being here that I remember in the preseason. The catch he made in the game was unbelievable. I think that he's doing a nice job with the roles we're asking him to do, both in the run game and the passing game. He doesn't get targeted quite as much as he probably wants to, but we certainly have a lot of faith in him when he's one-on-one. Again, the throw and catch, that ball was tipped as well that he caught on 4th down, and just his ability to maintain focus on it was unbelievable. So I think he's playing with a lot of confidence right now, and that was a good thing for us to see him come through in that situation. We kind of spread out the formation. We were trying to see if we could undress a couple of things for them coverage-wise, and really they covered it pretty well, but he just trusted Nick in that window, and he made a heck of a play.
DJ was such a big part of the first Rams game. If he can't play or whatever on Sunday, I mean, how
next man up. Again, we'll see how that plays out. We don't know, but obviously the best thing Fluke does for us is just the energy that he brings. He's a terrific competitor. We love listening to him before the game, and so we'll figure that out. But this is a business where there's always a chance of guys not being able to play, and if he's not ready to go, then the next guy will stand up and play. But hopefully he can make it out there and be good to go.
As great as Carson has been for you guys, do you have to change, even if he's on the field playing Sunday, do you have to change how you use him and think about him?
No, I don't think so. If he's out there, we're going to use him the way we want to use him. Chris is a very, very upfront, honest young man. He's going to tell us, hey, I don't feel great right now, or hey, I'm not 100%. So that I actually appreciate that. Some guys don't like that. I appreciate that, because then because we have a nice stable of backs that we can use. And again, Chris is a really, really good player, but one of the things we pride ourselves on is being able to do the things we want to do regardless of who's in the game.
You guys went to George Fant in that kind of tight end role, maybe partly because of injuries, but it's stuck now. How much do you like him in that as that 6th guy, big guy out there?
I think we enjoy it. He's also an awesome kid. He's a big, powerful guy. He is very athletic. He just makes us more physical. And there's certainly things that we do with him, both run game and pass game, that he's probably the best skilled at those jobs that we're asking him to do. So it's kind of built that way. We're always trying to evolve with it. There's always things that we're looking for that we can do more with him. We're still, he hasn't caught a pass, but we do enjoy releasing him on passes. He can catch, that's for sure. But he's done an awesome job with it. And the guys like when he's in there, because he's a confident young man, and they know that he plays with a lot of passion. So it's been fun, and again, we're always looking for different ways to develop that package and continue, and it's certainly grown over the past 4 or 5 weeks since we started doing it.
If you didn't know that he was a former basketball player that's only done this a short amount of time, would you know, watching him now, that he is?
No, not at all. I think some of the athletic things you'd be like, I could see some of the maybe athletic background, but you would not, having coached some other former basketball players, you wouldn't know. Most of those guys, it's funny because we played the Chargers, but I remember Antonio Gates, the first time he ever got in a stance. It was like, what is that? And he hadn't done it for a long time. But for George, I mean, he's so athletic, he's so big and square that you would never guess that.
In your coaching time, how often is officials call defense for simulating snap counts?
In my coaching career, I can't remember it being called a lot. I remember this goes back, I think my dad was coaching, I maybe was just getting in, but the Neil Smith rule, where Neil used to always try to flinch and draw people off sides. It doesn't get called a whole lot. I think a lot of times if they do something and we react a certain way, it draws more attention to it. And so I assume you're talking about the play late in the game. Yeah. He definitely moved. He caused JR to move, but JR's response of kind of just, trying to play it off like I didn't do anything probably played into the fact that they didn't call it. I think if JR stands up and starts pointing like they all do, it's going to at least make those guys communicate. But it doesn't get called a whole lot. Again, not being out, you don't see it that much. Now, I know there's teams out there that yell cadences and things like that, but being on the sidelines, I wouldn't know that as much as the players do.
After Russell's after his pick, there was a soundbite of you telling him sometimes a lion misses a gazelle. What exactly did you mean by that?
Well, we have a thing, we talk about always hunting. I don't remember the exact comment, but Russ is a very aggressive player. And I think it was probably in terms of, okay, hey, that one's gone, now let's go back. And again, I haven't been around him as long as some of the other guys on the staff, but he was obviously disappointed. But I've been around other great quarterbacks that are going to the Hall of Fame that were probably more dejected and more upset with themselves in terms of, oh man, what just happened? He was like, I'm okay, I'm good. Gosh, and he kind of walked it off, and that's a testament to him and his belief in himself, and I think what he was able to do along with the rest of the guys after that. You don't see that all the time. So, again, came up a little short, but certainly he brought us back.
On that point, have you been around quarterbacks who can just flush things like that as easily as he can?
They're all different. I think each guy is very different with how they handle it. I kind of chuckle as I think through the different names. But he has his way about him. Again, he's some guys yell and scream and they have to curse and things like that. That's probably how I handle it. But not him. He's just kind of pretty steady, He'll give a clap or something, but for the most part, he just kind of, you can see it, refocuses himself and I'll get him next time type of mentality, which is pretty cool.
You said earlier about penalties. Sometimes when they happen, you're just going to play the field position game. Was that sort of that 2nd and 24 call? Was that kind of?
Yeah, I don't remember that call per se, but there's certainly times when it's long yardage situations, depending on the score of the game. I mean, you're monitoring everything. You're up there trying to say, okay, hey, 2nd and 24, we're backed up. Defense is playing really good. I thought the defense played great, in that second half. And so it was like, hey, let's just kind of be smart here. And it's not like we don't think the calls are going to work. I mean, we hope the calls work. We just don't have a lot of plays that say, okay, this 3rd and 21, we love this call. This looks great. Oh, is it 2nd 24? Sweet. Where's that on my? So you're calling plays that you think, okay, hey, we can chip away at this thing, but you really don't have one. You're like, oh, hey guys, get ready to watch this one, and you just don't have those.
3 or 8 games. What have you learned about the offense? Maybe you didn't know at the start of September.
I think the work ethic has been unbelievable. These guys, they come to work each and every day, and not just on the field. It's easy to say on the field. These guys love lining up and playing football. They all do. These guys work in the classroom. We put a lot of time and effort into the preparation, trying to take the gray area out of the prep for them, and in the meetings they're dialed in. There's great communication. We feel like as a staff that we don't have all the answers. Again, we're behind the white lines, kind of like you guys are, right? They're out there, and so we like to get their opinion on things, and so there's always a lot of really good dialogue, give and take, whether it's, hey Doug, what do you think about this concept here against that coverage, or hey Dwayne, you comfortable with this backside blocking scheme? And these guys are awesome with that. So I appreciate just the way they work. It's just it's a neat group. It really is.
As honest and open as they are, have you gotten any pushback or no?
No, I mean, there's always things that come up. I mean, there's always going to be things. It's a relationship. It's a family. There's things that we're not always going to agree, whether it's Russ or me, receiver group with somebody. There's always going to be things like that. But things don't dwell here. We're disappointed. We missed that. We let one maybe get away last week. But hey, let's move on. Hey, I got another great game this week, and again, these guys bounce back quickly, which is cool to see.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.